Hi, it's Justin from Nerdyloft back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support that the channel has been getting so far. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I usually try and post new videos at least once a week or once a fortnight. You'll usually see at least one new video every fortnight, every 2 weeks. So I'm kind of sticking to that schedule at the moment. I know a couple of videos ago I sort of spoke a little bit about trying to build a new schedule and trying to keep to that. So again, thanks for all of your support. Thanks for the new subscribers who have joined our community. And hit the like button on this video if you like it. Hit the dislike if you don't like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see more of. Let me know how you think I can improve these videos going forward. With that out of the way, I guess let's get started with today's video. I had been playing a lot when M21 came out with selesnya counters, like a +1/+1 counter type deck. In M21, we got a lot of really cool cards to take advantage of +1/+1 counters. Things like Conclave Mentor, which really the deck revolves around. But taking the deck into Historic, with Jumpstart, we have a couple of really awesome cards now that we can take advantage of in a deck like this. So we have Branching Evolution, which this Branching Counters deck today focuses on and really builds around. So Branching Evolution is an enchantment. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature we control, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. So as you can imagine, +1/+1 counters can get pretty out of control once we have one or two Branching Evolutions down on the field, especially pairing that with Conclave Mentor, where Conclave Mentor is putting counters at one additional counter for every counter that gets put on. So that's pretty nuts. I think a lot of the time people will run in this deck things like Rishkar, the Peema Renegade, and Mikaeus, the Lunarch, which is a white card. I'll put screen caps up on the screen to show you, but if you're like me who doesn't want to spend the wild cards on those cards, or you don't have them in your collections, Mikaeus is a mythic rare, Rishkar is a rare. I'm short on rare wild cards at the moment, so if you're like me looking for something to swap those out with, I think those cards would work really well in this type of deck. But I've basically gone with what I have in my collection. So instead of Rishkar and Mikaeus, I have two Champion of Lambholts. So Champion of Lambholt is actually kind of really fun to play with. Creatures with a power less than Champion of Lambholt's power can't block creatures we control. So this single creature card here, if we can get it to a 5/5, then any of the opponent's power of 5 creatures that they control can't block any of our creatures. So 5 or less, basically. So this is pretty powerful. It's kind of like can't be blocked for any of our creatures, so that's pretty great. We can usually run over them pretty quickly, especially when we're putting counters on from things like Vivian. So Vivian's +1 is distributing 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 2 target creatures, so pretty easy to add tokens that way, add counters. Basri's Lieutenant, I've got 2 in the deck here. Multicolored Protected Human Knight for 4 mana. When Basri's Lieutenant enters the battlefield, we put a +1/+1 counter on any target creature we control. So great targets for that will be Champion of Lambholt, a Pelt Collector, Stonecoil Serpent, Wildwood Scourge. We've got pretty good synergy in the deck with Wildwood Scourge. So when Wildwood Scourge is on the battlefield, whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on another non-Hydra, we can put +1/+1 counters on Wildwood Scourge. So we basically get free tokens on Wildwood Scourge, free counters on Wildwood Scourge every time we put a counter on something else. So that's pretty great. Yorvo is really good in this deck, I think anyway, especially when you've got 1 or 2 Branching Evolutions on the field, which are basically doubling the +1/+1 counters that go onto a creature. So Yorvo enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters. So with Branching Evolution, he gets 8 +1/+1 counters. If we've got 2 Branching Evolutions, he gets 16 +1/+1 counters, and so on. So a Yorvo can get pretty out of control pretty quickly. Rounding out the deck, we have 4 Llanowar Elves to help us ramp. 4 Pelt Collectors. Pelt Collector is pretty great. Is gonna rotate out when Guilds of Ravnica rotates out, but Pelt Collector for now, pretty great card. Stonecoil Serpent, pretty self-explanatory. It's an X +1/+1 counters creature. So we can play him for +1 or +2 initially, early on, and later in the late game we can play him for much bigger. Stonecoil Serpent can get pretty big, with Wildwood Scourge also can get pretty big. Conclave Mentor we've covered off. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, pretty useful utility type card here. So we're putting 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 2 target creatures with her +1. Her -3 gives a target creature we control can deal damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. So there's some spot removal there, which works out pretty well. And her -5, in the late game especially, I found can kind of win you the game by pulling something out of your sideboard that will kind of help you out of a tricky situation. So a lot of the time I'll go grab a Questing Beast to finish off the opponent. Maybe the opponent's on 4 or 8 life left. They've got some really annoying creatures that I've got to get rid of. Yeah, Questing Beast can do really well, especially against other planeswalkers. Shifting Ceratops is protected from blue, so pretty great against those blue control decks. Tharatusk, pretty useful for 5 mana. We're gaining 5 life. When it leaves the battlefield, we're creating a 3/3 green beast creature token. So there's a couple of pieces of removal in the sideboard as well that we can call up with Vivian if we need it. Realm Cloak Giants, a great obvious one with Cast Off. For 5 mana, we can destroy all non-giants. That actually works out quite well for us as well. If we have a Yorvo in the field or something like that, we get to keep Yorvo. So yeah, Shatter the Sky, Gem Razor, all the usual kind of stuff, I guess, that you might need to pick out in a pinch to help you out in a pinch. So Vivian is really useful for that. Single Ajani the Great-Hearted. When we can pull one of these, it's really, really strong. His -2 ability is pretty great, especially him starting off with 5 loyalty. His -2 says put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker we control. So if we have a Vivian out, she's getting an extra loyalty point off of Ajani, which is great. His +1's pretty useful, gaining +3 life, gaining 3 life. So yeah, pretty useful card. Finishing off the deck, we have 2 Great Henges. Great Henge gets cheaper every time we get a bigger creature. So the most powerful creature we control, we can get the Great Henge out for a little cheaper. We're adding 2 green mana and we gain 2 life when we tap it. And whenever a non-token enters the battlefield under our control, we put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. So the +1/+1 counter that we get from the Great Henge can be doubled up with Conclave Mentor. It can be doubled up with Branching Evolution. So pretty useful. That's the deck. As far as lands go, we're really just splashing a little bit of white here with Conclave Mentor is really the only reason I've got any white in the deck. So sort of taking advantage of that splash of white, we've got an Ajani the Great-Hearted and Basri's Lieutenant. So a couple of planes, 2 planes to search up with Fabled Passage if we need to, 10 forests, 4 Sunpetal Grove, 4 Temple Gardens, and 3 Fabled Passages. So that's the deck. Let's jump into some games and see how we do. Okay. Okay. This could work, actually. Initially, I'm like, it's not a really great hand. We can play a Pelt Collector turn 1. We can play a Wildwood Scourge on turn 3 if we want to trigger the Pelt Collector. We have to get a +2 Wildwood Scourge out, so we're playing him turn 3. I guess we could play Pelt Collector turn 1 and 2. We have Branch Evolution on turn 3, so depending on what the opponent's going to do. we could either play Wildwood Scourge on turn 3 or Branching Evolution. Then we're triggering 2 Pelt Collectors on turn 3. Let's see how we go. Not too bad. Okay. Still a little early to tell what the opponent's playing. Okay. Blue-red, green-red. Could probably attack here. They're not going to want to leave, sacrifice their Paradise Druid, so... Oh, okay. This is Peema Reclamation. They got a Honda in here, so I think they're maybe playing multicolor shrines. We'll see. So we've got a little bit of time here. Let's see. I think we play the Wildwood Scourge to trigger the Pelt Collectors for now, and then we play... but Branching Evolution on those counters would be great. Let's go Branching Evolution. We've got time up our sleeve here. We're going to discard the Fable Passage. Alright, Conclave Mentor. So we can... I think we're going to play the Scourge for 2, which should double the counters with Branching Evolution. So let's play it for 2. Nice. Alright. Yeah, great to get 2 Pelt Collectors on, putting tokens on the table as well. Wildwood Scourge is going to get triggered for every time we put a counter on something else, so we have a pretty beastie Wildwood Scourge now, especially with Branching Evolution out on the field. Unfortunately, we lost our Conclave Mentor to the Honden of Night's Reach. And our Vivian we've lost as well. So now they have Sanctum of Tranquil Light, so that Sanctum's going to be tapping the Scourge most likely. We can play Great Henge for 2, which is nice. I always don't remember to tap the Great Henge if I've got nothing else to play, just to gain the extra life, so... Always forget that. Alright, so that Honden's basically going to keep us forcing our hand every turn. We're going to have to play what we have, or we'll lose it next turn, so... That Honden of Cleansing Fire is getting them 3 life. So... We're going to have to hurry this along. Unfortunately, it's another land. Yep, expecting that. That Sanctum of Tranquil Light is pretty useful for them. It's going to be slow going. They're gaining 3 life every turn, and we're dealing 6 damage with Pelt Collectors every turn, so... Unless we can kill off an enchantment, yeah, we don't have anything, unfortunately, in our deck to remove enchantments, so we're just gonna need to hopefully get a Vivian out More land is not helpful. We just need a Vivian to be able to give our creatures trample, and we can just run over these Paradise Druids. Well, they're just going to keep tapping Wildwood Scourge anyway, so we just need to go wide here then. Sanctum of All, nice. Mentor. Gets his card draw off the Great Henge at least. Yeah, expecting that. It's pretty huge. So the opponent's under a bit of pressure here. Ooh, they got the Sanctum of Shattered Heights. That's the one that's... yeah, deals X damage. And they got Stone Fangs as well, so they're gaining life, where X is a number of shrines. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shrines, so that's pretty powerful for them right now. It's gaining 6 life and dealing 6 damage, right? Wow, that's going to be huge. They might think twice about killing off anything else next time, but with those pelt collectors gaining. They're going to tap some more, most likely. Yeah, it's going to be really annoying. It basically costs them 1 less for every shrine they have, so they're effectively getting like 1 mana costing taps off of Sanctum, so this is actually going to be a really hard battle for us. I don't think we're not going to be able to do anything with this, I don't think. I might have something in the sideboard that we could plus... we could -5 with Vivian. That's really our only option, but that's a couple of turns away. This is going to be tough. They're gaining like 7 life. $33. Alright, they're still quite a way away from milling. Another mentor. Just need that card draw. Damn. Yeah, they're just going to be tapping everything, basically, so... They're just going to pressure us down, basically, like we're just... This is a... This is quite a difficult matchup for us. If we just were too slow to finish them off, basically, we just have to kill them before they could get up to 6 shrines. So now they're on 6 shrines, it's pretty much impossible for us to win. We've just let them play out this turn, see what happens, but they've got nothing to play, nothing to spend their mana on, so... Yep. Oh. GG's. Alright, so we're going first here. I think we're going to mulligan this hand. It's a little slow. Nothing to take advantage of the counters. This isn't great either. Am I going to mulligan again? I guess we have the white mana source with Fable Passage for Basri's Lieutenant. I guess turn 2 we could play a Yorvo with Llanowar Elves. It might be enough pressure early on. I guess we get rid of Basri here at 4. Don't really want to lose any more cards off a mulligan again, so... Could have played the Wildwood Scourge first, but it just would have been a little slow, I think, so... Now we can do... I think we shock this in. Actually go 3. Oops. If I can actually click right. There we go. Okay. So we have a henge for 4. We can search up a... We've got our single white source, that's all we really need. Alright. Not too bad. That Yorvo, the early Yorvo on turn 2 was enough pressure. Game's not over yet. We're either going to have really long, arduous games, or we're going to have really short games like that. So, sweet. There's enough pressure early on to finish off the match there. I guess they really just had a card draw issue, but on to the next one. Adam. Okay, opponent's going first. We could make this work, actually. We have a Pelt Collector, turn 2 Conclave Mentor, which will trigger the Collector. Turn 3 Branching Evolution. We've got the land to do it. So we're actually gonna have a tap land on turn 3 unless we pull something else, but this could work. Let's give it a go. Ooh, okay. Is this mono white life gain? Or angels, maybe? Like the card backs. I got the new Theros card backs. Yeah, life gain here. Alright. Mono white life gain. So yeah. We shock the mentor in. I think we attack here. Even if they double block, I'm fine for them to lose their Speaker of the Heavens, but they're not going to do that, so... Oh, okay, yeah. It's an option. Double Light of Hopes for the counters, okay. That's one way of getting to 27 life for a Speaker to tap. Need to find out double green. Oh, we're on... Yeah, we had double green anyway. We need double green for Champion. Champion's going to come in handy this match, I think. To... If we can keep Champion up with Ajani's Pridemate and stuff anyway. I think we play another Conclave Mentor here. And then next turn we trigger the counters with Scourge. Okay, Conclave Tribunal. We're seeing a lot of Conclave Tribunal in the Eldraine days, and yeah, we've got some better spot removal these days. But yeah, still comes in handy. We could play Branching Evolution. We don't have anything to really put counters on Lambholt. Could do a big Stonecoil Serpent. Next turn. Oh, the Heliod is out. Ooh, should we... Ooh, yeah, should we double block the Ajani here? Then Speaker's gonna be up to... I think we double block. Like, we're gonna lose our mentors, but that Ajani's getting pretty big. They can tap Speaker now. Yeah, now Speaker can generate enough mana, enough life gain for Angels, so that's a problem. I think we go a Stonecoil Serpent here for the reach. We'll get it to 6 counters with the help of Branching Evolution, so that's nice. It's going to help us keep up a little bit with their creatures, but now they have Heliod on the field, it's a bit tough. Yeah, I think we've just run out of steam here. We could do a Great Henge. Wildwood Scourge for 3. It's just not enough. There won't be enough to... Oh, GG's. Okay, on to the next one. Okay. It's a bit of a tough one here. I guess we have Mentor turn 2 with a Scourge turn 3. Or Branching Evolution turn 3, we'll see. It's a little bit slow though. I'm gonna mulligan, I think. Similar to our hand a couple of games ago. With the Yorvo. We're just missing a ramp with Llanowar Elves to get Yorvo out on turn 2. Are we playing a 1 Stonecoil here? Or we're gonna hold it for maybe a turn 2 Scourge, turn 3 Yorvo, hold the Stonecoil Serpent for later. Second Stonecoil. Scourge for 1. And then a Yorvo. Okay. Mono red goblins. This can be a pretty explosive deck. We play the... Ooh, we could hold a Yorvo for... Mentor or something else. We could play a Stonecoil for 3 and see what we pull next turn. we're gonna have to try and be fairly aggressive here, because these goblin war chiefs, or the goblins, are just gonna be pretty nuts. They're getting pretty cheap goblin cards out now with 2 goblin war chiefs, reducing the spell, the casting cost by 2, so it's gonna be a real problem. I could potentially +1 and then remove Krenko. It's just gonna spiral out of control. Or alternatively, we put counters and just
Civilization has crept too far. Tear it down. This'll be fun to watch.
trample over them. But they could double block with the war chiefs, but they're gonna want to hold on to them for the cheaper casting cost for their goblins, so we really need something to... we need a Conclave Mentor or something else to trigger more tokens here, or we're gonna lose the game. Yeah, that's it. Super fast deck, this mono red goblins. Now they can tap Krenko for like a billion 1/1 goblins. Yeah. Wow. Alright. Cool. Alright, GG's. I think our deck would be a little bit more flexible if we could put Mikaeus and Rishkar in. Fortunately we don't have them, but yeah, if you've got the wildcards to craft Rishkar or Mikaeus, that would be really good in this deck. What have we got here? Lunarch Elf into Wildwood Scourge. Pretty slow. Eventually, we're putting counters on turn 4, turn 3 Ajani with Atlanta War Elf. Let's try. Okay. Is it, maybe? Some kind of a... Not sure what they're gonna... Oh, we can go Mentor, maybe? We're gonna want one of those Wildwood Scourges out before the Ajani. So I think we play it for 3. Yeah, let's go 3 and then Ajani next turn. Wow, okay. Fight with fire. 5 damage, and if it was kicked, it does 10 damage divided among targets. Cool. Well, I think we go Pelt Collector, and then we go with Johnny and put counters on. I'm just trying to sort of be as fast as possible here before they can really build up steam. Pirates Pillage, okay. Ooh, so we can play a... 2... Play for 2, and then we've got the 3 open for Yorvo. No, actually we play it for 1. Always forget that it actually costs 1 green. Alright, now we counter. Great. Alright, well that'll be it. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. Hit like on the video if you liked it. Hit dislike if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of, how I can improve these videos going forward. But thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.